Hey, so we're merging servers of all the low populated servers. Okay, but what server will we get merged with? Server? Try all of them. What?
Hey, Mr. C here, and welcome to my Pantheon heal arc. Now, come here. Come on. A little closer, come on. I don't like doing these kind of videos. I don't want to be Mr. Mean Shouty Pants. I like to have fun. I like to have a good time. And Pantheon at its core is a fun game. And I've had a ton of fun with Pantheon in the past. But man, Pantheon makes it hard sometimes.
So first, let's explain the merges. So at EA's start, they launched with all these servers with a quote-unquote cap of 500 active players. A lot of people said, quote, "That's a lot of servers, but whatever, let's play." Now, servers that exceeded 500 players would make another shard of said server so that players could switch over during the launch, and this was not supposed to be a long-term thing. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Now, 500 is a weird cap for a server, and there's a big reason for this. With the game being open world with no instances, there's only so many zones and so many camps for so many people. And with Pantheon being in development, there's less than a typical MMO. Now, over time, obviously populations of said servers would dwindle for a bunch of different reasons. They got busy with life or other stuff, they got tired or bored of the game, whatever. And with the population seeming to dwindle, people complained that there wasn't enough people on servers to support group play. Thus, talk of the merges. Now, when they said that they would be merging the servers, I wasn't a huge fan, but I was fine with it with the caveat, it depends on what server we're getting merged with. Now, our server wasn't super populated, but it was our little slice of life. There was no drama, no arguing, and people for the most part got along, and we would say, hey, if you're tired of all the mess at Black Moon, come on over to Stormona. So what's getting merged? The answer is 9 West Coast servers and 9 East Coast servers, which is kind of a lot of servers, and some of these servers that they're merging were already big enough to have their own shards. So, no drama, no arguing, yeah, that's gone. Way gone. Furthermore, you might be looking at these servers and saying, 9 servers is a lot of servers to merge. Wouldn't that be more than 500 players? Very astute, my dear viewer, and yes. The solution is these servers will also have shards. So what's the problem with shards? The problem with shards is shard hopping. What's shard hopping? Shard hopping is jumping or hopping from one shard to another, mainly to camp spots with valuable name mobs for loot. And right now, you can switch from one shard to the next, log back in, and be in the exact same spot you logged out at. What's the issue with this? The problem is that instead of one named, people can now camp multiple of the same named by switching shards. Another problem is that it dilutes the rarity of rare drops, because the more spawns there are, simply the more loot there will be. And this isn't even going to the alleged supposed real money transactions happening. Another problem right now is that leveling is way easier to do solo or duo farming solo mobs, so a lot of people just level up not in groups. So people just get to a high level this way and then they go back to group areas solo to farm gray mobs for rare loot for their best in slot, to sell, or just for the hell of it. So now you start to see the issue. With these merges, there's going to be 9 times the high levels fighting over any camp of any value, and if you're trying to get experience as an appropriate level group and maybe get some names too, too bad. Even with shards, it probably won't be enough. Not to mention the issues shards have had in the past with bugs and exploits. So what's the solution for this? Well, a queue system for freaking starters. Black Moon should have had a queue system forever ago, and it probably would have made some people roll in other servers who don't want to sit in a big queue. But merges and all that jazz don't solve the biggest issue. People act like this will solve all their grouping woes, And it might for a little bit, but at the end of the day, there's not enough content. And even your biggest fans can only do the same content so many times before moving on to other stuff. And based on this roadmap, we might be waiting 11 to 15 weeks until we get anything resembling a new area to go to. And if the new content is basically 2 new camps, it won't hold people over. Wait, what were those tenets again? Oh yeah, number 1. Content is king. Number 3 is pretty sketchy too. And this isn't some ancient post, this is on their website right now. So long story short, I don't think this was well thought out or executed. And it'll probably drive away a fair bit of players, and long term it won't help with the population. I know it's killed the tiny motivation I had left to play. People are speculating that this was to save money on server costs, and it will, but it won't help gain funding for development, because there's no monetization or sub aside from Steam purchases, and will people want to buy an MMO where everything is camped? And so help me God, if you add a cash shop, I will go full heel and release the 247 footage. Now we have 3 Black Moons. We wanted more than one, right?